Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on a beautiful Victory Monday, baby.
Victory!
The Lions are back.
Yes!
They're back, baby.
10-4.
10-4, and they're right back in that mix. When you're talking 2 seed, there's even still, I don't want to say this, but there's still a chance for the 1 seed.
There's still a chance.
You're not out of it. You haven't been eliminated from the 1 seed. They looked like the brand new Lions on Saturday. I almost keep saying yesterday, but it was Saturday. Broder, Victory Monday. The Booner path is alive.
Yes.
I got clowned about it for weeks.
Clowned.
Because they were bad the last 3 or 4 weeks, which they were.
But that's why there's a path, so you stay on it. When things go off, you got a path to get right back on. That's exactly what you did.
That's why you don't kind of veer off. The Detroit Lions right now, fellas, and I don't think people realize this enough, and I don't think people have really truly thought about this because of the last 3 or 4 weeks. The Detroit Lions are 1 win away from winning the first NFC North title ever and the first division title in the NFL since 1993. 1 win away from getting to that accomplishment that everyone was talking about at the beginning of the season. And I want everyone to take a step back, if you're in this chat, Lions fan or not, and just realize how historic of a season they are having right now. 10 wins already, and they're already on their chance to win a division title, which they've never done in the Matthew Stafford era. They never did in any era that we've ever been alive.
The Mike McMahon era.
Yeah,
Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky. Just think back to the 0-16 year and think to where we are now. Think about it, fellas.
I'm thinking.
There's a lot of people the last couple weeks who were so down on this team, down on different players, down on this, down on that, and they just didn't think like, hey, this is the best Lions season you've ever had in your life. Maybe it's time we start enjoying it and start actually talking about this football team who's doing something historic right now.
Special.
And we're going to do that here on our show tonight, man.
Special. I can't wait to talk about it. We got so much to talk about it. So many questions were answered. We got playoff possibilities, seeding possibilities. We got so much to talk about. Booner, why don't you introduce the crew?
We do. We got the full crew. Obviously, Booner, I'm never lost. Don't lose. We got Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter, with us as always. We've got Jalen. Everyone give a round of applause, Jalen. Jalen's last day today, actually.
Shout out Jalen.
Shout out, Jalen. How are you feeling after that win Saturday?
I got what I wanted. I got my statement win. That's all I wanted.
Needed it.
Big statement.
Going out on top, eh?
Something like that.
Something like that. Jalen's got big things cooked up after in his next move, so everyone, please wish him the best. We love Jalen.
I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, we're going to miss you, dude. But you'll be around. You'll be around.
Yeah,
we're still
be
boys.
around a little here and there.
Yeah.
Boo boy.
And we've got Nick in the sound booth. Nick.
Jay, don't do it to me. Don't do it to me.
Oh, they're going to cry.
Nick, how are you feeling? You're at Ford Field.
Lions Victory Monday. Let's get it, boys. I was down at Ford Field. It was rocking. It was electric. Everybody is back on the bandwagon. Jay, we're going to send you off with a great fucking show today. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, and we're early. Yeah, I know chat.
Yes,
I know you like that chat. I won't troll anybody, but you like that chat.
Broder is so hyped about being early. I love it. I love it. By the way, too, I did start the mullet here. I don't know if people saw. If you didn't tune into the
Booner looks good
pregame show, I've started the mullet, and I might have to keep it going because we're 1-0 with the mullet. So
you got 2 paths forming right here.
I've started the path, man. We're 1-0 since the. I've got a mullet, so I might have to keep that. Broder, real quick, too, I just want to throw this out there, this stat real quick.
Bro.
In the last 24 games, the Detroit Lions have won 18 of those games. In the last 2 years, the Detroit Lions have won 19 games, which is the most in a 2-year span, in a 2-season span in Detroit Lions football history.
Bro.
The most ever.
That's an accomplishment.
And I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong, but that was the stat I think the Lions actually put out.
Oh, yeah.
And when I saw that, I was absolutely shocked.
First 10-win season in Dan Campbell history. You know, there's only one team in NFL history that's finished the regular season undefeated and then won the Super Bowl. At some point, Every team loses. Every team goes on a little bit of bad stretch.
Who was that team?
The Dolphins.
Dan Marino, huh?
Yeah, it was Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Well, was he a lefty?
No, he was. Was he?
No,
righty,
Steve
right?
Young. Steve Young was.
Yeah,
He was.
shout out
But
Steve.
the point of it all is every team loses. Everyone goes on stretches. The teams that eventually win the Super Bowl, they're the ones that respond to the challenges throughout the year. The Detroit Lions, the season's not over. They still got a couple games to go.
Yep.
But they responded to this stretch that they've been on. The last 4 to 5 games has not been so great. But they looked as good as they have all season against the Denver Broncos on Saturday on primetime. It was great. What a night for Detroit.
On top of that, and I want to bring this up, and Jalen, I think there might be a graphic in there that says 4-0. It was from the Lions, but the Detroit Lions, in their last, this is just another stat. There's going to be a lot of stats today where this is almost a
lot of records
show.
broken by this team.
Yes. In the last 5 primetime games the Detroit Lions have played, they have won all 5. And this season alone, they are 4-0 in primetime. And you know what that shows to me, fellas? In the playoffs, guess what the playoffs is? It's all primetime. All eyes on you. Whether you're a 1 o'clock game, a 4 o'clock game, 8 o'clock game, you're a standalone game most likely. Wild card, maybe not, but most likely because they go Saturday and Sunday. They go Saturday 2 games, Sunday 2 games. Most likely, you're going to be a standalone primetime game.
Can you imagine
And
Detroit,
they're 4-0 in
a
those
Saturday
games.
night playoff game in Detroit? I was talking that about with Will Birchfield from 97.1 from, I believe, also Detroit News. He writes for everybody. Really good guy. We were talking. He was like, dude, there might be another Saturday night game in the playoffs. Do you have any idea what that is going to be like in Ford Field? What Detroit is going to be like on a Saturday night game? I mean, they would show out on Sunday, but a Saturday night?
Beautiful.
Oh, boy. Also, real
City
quick,
was
I didn't send this in, but I saw a text today. It said, fun fact, the Detroit Lions are the only team to win a game on Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday this season.
I did see that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
Thought that
is
was cool.
a crazy stat.
Also, on that primetime stat, we did lose in our standalone game in Thanksgiving. I know it wasn't during the nighttime, so do they not consider it primetime?
I don't think
Because
it's
I saw that stat too, and I was a little
primetime.
confused about that.
That's a good question.
I don't think Thanksgiving is, I don't know.
Well, at least we know that in the nighttime.
In the nighttime. All right, good stuff.
Undefeated.
Sounds good.
Never lost.
And if they keep getting those playoff
Can't win with
games, I do want to as well. You talked about having a home playoff game, Broder.
Go.
Potential of hosting 2 playoff games. The game tonight, Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks.
Tell them what you think.
And there's a lot of people who are like, no, the Lions can clinch tonight with the Eagles. Listen, I would rather the Detroit Lions not clinch the playoffs tonight. The Detroit Lions are going to clinch the playoff one way or another. I don't care when they do it, how they do it. I don't care. The only thing right now that the Detroit Lions are in a battle for is for a seeding right now. And it's a legitimate conversation to be had right now, is that they're fighting for a 2 seed, which could put them to 2 home games. And what did I say earlier in the year, a couple months ago? If the Detroit Lions land the 1 or the 2 seed, I'm going to put the Booner guarantee, which legacy plays, all that, 9-10-1, now all of that. There's a Booner guarantee that the Detroit Lions will be playing in the NFC Championship game if they host 2 playoff games. They will not lose a playoff game at home.
Wow.
And I guarantee that. So tonight, and I keep seeing this, people are like, oh no, I would rather clinch a playoff tonight.
No.
We're
We can wait a little bit.
We're rooting for the Seattle Seahawks tonight. Every Lions fans, everyone should be talking about the Seattle Seahawks and be happy that Geno Smith is playing tonight. They should want Geno Smith and that Seahawks team to dominate the Eagles, so you still have a chance to go host 2 playoff games and take that 2 seed.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it, Broder.
I'm with you. The goal right now should be to get the highest seed. It's a win-win. If they lose, okay, that's fine. Whatever. But we need to be rooting for the Seahawks to get that higher seed. We want that second round to be in Detroit also, no matter what.
Yeah. And Corey Berry in the Woodward Sports, appreciate you tuning in. He said, don't overdo it and jinx it, Booner. The Detroit Lions right now have a 99.99999% chance or something like that to make the playoffs at the current moment. Like, I think there would have to be like 6 different teams to win out for the Detroit Lions, I think, to not miss the play. Like, it would be like an insane scenario for that to happen. So for us tonight to ask for a chance to go for the 2 seed, we're not fighting for a wild card spot. You're not fighting for a playoff spot. You're fighting for the seeding. You're that far ahead right now. You're 1 win away. You have 3 games left. Everything is in your hands right now. You control your own destiny. 1 win gets you a playoff, and it gets you a division. Go take care of that Sunday and let the Seahawks help put you in a better position tonight. That's all I have for that, bro.
Boom. Dude, did you hear the news that came out about our boy Frank Ragnow.
Oh my gosh,
all
dude.
the speculation
What a
we
warrior.
were doing. Oh, his toe and his neck and his back and his knee and his. The dude had meniscus surgery.
What a warrior, man.
And first off, I don't know how that never got out. Second off, that is incredible. He had one game off. Dan Campbell was talking about in his press conference today how Frank Ragnow just told him, he's like, no, I'll be back. I'll be there for that Broncos game, when he was. And we saw just how important, not just Frank Ragnow was, but that entire offensive line being healthy. This team rides or dies with that offensive line. And when they're healthy, you can beat anybody in this league, including the 49ers. Yes, the 49ers are a better team. Don't get me wrong there. But with that offensive line, you got a chance to beat anybody. And if anyone wants to argue with me on that, let's go.
That's the thing, and we do have a segment later about Jared Goff, and that's the thing. Like, this argument with Jared Goff is a lot of us have given him props and talked about him the last few weeks. And yeah, he struggled for a while, and Ermani brought it up first a couple weeks ago. Was he felt like it was the offensive line that Jared Goff was struggling because of, and I kind of seconded that here on this show the same day. And now to me, it's like, hey, yeah, you saw that, and people could be like, oh, so Jared Goff needs all the pieces around him to win. Yes, a football team that doesn't have Patrick Mahomes needs to have a football team around them to win, and we saw it yesterday Saturday, that if they have the team that they built, that Brad Holmes has helped build, they can beat anyone. And that's what's so special about this football team, is if they stay healthy and they find a way to keep guys on the field, they are one of the most dangerous teams in football. And you saw it on Saturday when they dominated a team that won 6 of their last 7, beat the Bills, beat the Chiefs, went out there and beat teams that are really good right now. And they dominated. So when they're all together, this team plays really damn good football.
And then you look on the other side of the ball. We had guys step up. Finally, on that defensive end, it wasn't just one guy stepping. It wasn't just Iffy. It was Khalil Dorsey. It was Kendall Vildor. It was John Kaminsky.
Vildor had a nice play, man.
Very nice play. He did.
Nice
Josh
play.
Pasco came out of nowhere. Bruce Irvin made an impact. There were multiple guys who weren't starters at the beginning of the season that played well, and that helped out Anzalone, who had a great game. Aiden Hutchinson. It all came together. They were aggressive. Aaron Glenn was aggressive. He was creative. It was their most complete game, if not just a complete game of the season.
I want to give credit as well to AG. Because that's someone that we've all gone at, and I think the whole fan base has as well. But AG, the last couple weeks, he benched Tracy Walker. He's benched Jerry. He not benched Jerry Jacobs, but he started putting more on special teams and taking him out and putting Vildor in and looking at these different looks and letting Iffy get runs at it. Buggs is getting back in and starting to play. Like, he's starting, like, AG said, all right, things aren't working, we're going to make them work. And he's starting to kind of go around and find different people to who wants to go out there and play and who wants to help us win football games. And credit to AG for finding the right guys to do it. Dan, I'm sure, was front and center there trying to, like, move things around as well, but they've found a way on defense. And we do have a little defensive segment, or next we're going to talk about it. This defense was elite on Saturday.
A week ago, can you imagine? Can you imagine having a conversation, you and me, about, all right, what is Aaron Glenn going to do in the secondary now? As a positive, there's too many pieces. If CJ comes back, CD Deuce, I should call him. Now you got CD Deuce, Kirby Joseph, Iffy Melifonwu. He's now got to be in that mix.
This defense is going to change.
How do you take Iffy off the field? How are you going to balance them all playing? You can't have CD Deuce off the field.
Shit.
What did I say? What did I say last week?
What?
I said, if this defense turns a corner versus Denver team, if they find a way to turn a corner and kind of start figuring out just a little something, you just start figuring something out to get a little bit of an edge heading into these final 4 weeks in the playoffs. You get CD Deuce back, you get James Houston back, and you just found your edge and you're playing at a higher level. They're just going to elevate that even more. Think about that defense Saturday and add C.J. Gardner-Johnson and James Houston to it. That's what it's going to look like when Dallas in the final Vikings game in week 1 of the playoffs comes into play.
Yes.
So
and I know
that's a different team.
I know this isn't the moment to get into the other teams, but Dallas, their run defense was exposed last night. The Rams' offensive line was exposed. Like, they don't look as bad of a matchup to me anymore with the type of pressure that we were able to get blitzing, using these different guys, whether it's Iffy or Kendall Vild. Like, Aaron Glenn got creative, and that forced Russell Wilson into some tough situations.
Well, they've been asking for that for about 4 weeks now, right?
Yeah. And you know what else we've been asking for? J-Mo.
Yeah,
Jamison Williams got going. He was targeted. I don't care if he went 0 for 7 on 7 targets. Actually, I probably would. But he was targeted, and it changed everything. We're going to talk about all this coming up. But, man, there were so many questions that were answered. They played really well. It was a complete football game, and I'm just excited it happened. Nick, what up, baby?
I thought the biggest thing that AG did was bring pressure that we have all been asking for. That's why we laugh about it. We can joke about it because we finally see what happens when they finally get home. And a word that you said, aggressiveness. We saw them shoot out of cannons against this Broncos team and absolutely take out Russell Wilson and some of just the plays that they were able to break up. That's what we've been waiting to see. So shout out Dorsey. Shout out Vildor, new favorite guy on the back end.
Kendall Vildor.
Yeah, who knew
There's
he'd be an
some
all-time
new
hero.
guys, some new faces, and they dominated
it.
Saturday. All right, we're gonna go to break. When we come back, we're gonna kind of just go over the game a little bit, review the game, talk a little bit about some of the guys. At 8:30, we're gonna have this Jared Goff conversation. And we know that's kind of a conversation around the town, whatever side you're on. Want to hear people's voices on that. 8:45, we're going to talk about the rookies, Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. 9 o'clock, Broder, we're going to bring player of the games.
Offense,
I'm sure me and
defense.
you might have the same defensive player, actually. Offense, maybe not. We might be able to go 2 different ones there. 9:15, we do this every week. The state of the Detroit Lions, expectations going forward, where the fan base is at. After 9:15, what we want to do, while we're kind of doing the state of the Detroit Lions, we want to hear from the people. I told Broder before the show, Detroit Lions have a chance to clinch the division since the first time since 93 in 30 years. I want to start hearing from some people and hearing what they think about this kind of going forward. I think the people deserve to have a voice heading into this next week with the chance to do that. 9:40, we're going to talk about this defense a little bit more, and then we'll get into mailbag. Sounds like a packed show. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. As we go to break, hit that like button. But let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's real quick. Come over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. You can take the whole crew with you if you want. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Let me tell you about Jack Labrador, because drafting a complicated business in professional sports, Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald, Darko over D. Wade, Stanley Johnson over Devin Booker. Let me help you out. Jack Labrador should be your #1 overall stocking stuffer pick this year. 1 deck, 3 games, fun for the whole family for less than $20. You'll love your Jack Labrador. Pick more than you love Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. I love you, Jack Labrador, but that's going to be hard to do right now because I love those two a lot. Draft like Brad Holmes. Draft at jacklabrador.com now or scan the QR code above.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like a landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live every home game for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market, Shed number 5, and it's a bash. It'll be here for the last game of the season, the Minnesota Vikings, Week 18, starting at 9:30 a.m. up until game time. The official Lions VIP tailgate with Woodward Sports. We got food, we got drinks, and we got entertainment. Just get your tickets above at bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
All right, welcome back into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. This is a Victory Monday, baby. I've got the glasses. It's hard to wear the glasses all day. I can't see all the fellas.
That's fine.
I want to make sure I'm locked in here. If you guys can, while you guys come in here, hit that like button for us. We got the game on here so we can give you guys some updates if the Seahawks step up and get the Lions a win here.
Wings are playing right now, too.
Yeah, they're like down 3-0.
They're down 3-0.
The last time I checked, yeah.
All right, come on, Wayne. You got to turn that baby around.
Not too worried about that
D-Boss
game right
back
now.
too, so he
T-Floss?
D-Boss.
Shout out Terry
4-1.
Foster.
Yes.
Down 4-1.
Yes.
All right, Lions Broncos little game review here. Let's get
Where to
into
start?
it. Lions get the win, obviously 42-17. Dominated. They absolutely dominated this Broncos team, and it felt like it was just all around defense, special teams, offense, coaching wise. I don't know if you guys saw the video of Sean Payton just going at Russell Wilson. I put a tweet out there and it was just like, hey, the Detroit Lions have broken Sean Payton, and people loved that. Jared Goff, obviously, was just absolutely what a day. 5 touchdowns. Gibbs Laporta combined for 5 touchdowns. St. Brown, he's back. Those 2 weeks off didn't matter.
He's back. No.
That man came back.
Congratulations, you just got
on the
Amon-Ra St.
defensive side of the
Cloud.
ball. I do want to talk about this as well here, Broder, and get into some of this. I know we have some videos, and you put some videos in here. The defense, though. We finished last segment off on that. Those guys stepped up. Alex Anzalone had 12. Just listen to these stat lines on defense. Anzo, 12 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, tackle for a loss, pass deflection. This one right here, Iffy, 9 tackles, a sack, forced fumble, tackle for a loss, 2 pass deflections, 2 quarterback hits. He was out there dominating. Josh Pascal had himself a game. Bugs. Oh, almost died there. The Kool-Aid. You guys hit the Kool-Aid, man.
I love it.
Isaiah Bugs recovered a fumble. He was out. He was everywhere on the field. I heard someone, who was it today that said it on another show? I think it might have been Ryan Romani. It was like, I never want to see Isaiah Bugs on the
I think it was Romani.
removing him from the list ever again.
Good things happen when he's out there. Who knows what goes on behind the scenes, but good things
I
happen when
can't
he's on the
believe
field.
that's a thing, that he's just a healthy scratch. For how he looked on Saturday, unbelievable.
There were other reasons, and regardless of what everything's gone on there, 10-4. So we got to trust the decision-making process, even if we can't figure it out right now.
Yeah, I said Isaiah Bugs, and Shane Daniels said Booner got a bug in his throat. I don't know. I don't know if that. Oh,
Frog. Here we go.
oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Sorry about that,
again
fellas.
on
If you guys
my
all heard
own.
that, that's not on me. It just hits us. Brother, how do you feel, though? Just initial reactions from this game. I know we started off first segment talking about it, but let's just dive deeper into this game. We could just start on the offenses. Like, how do we feel about this game here?
I feel great because it was a complete football game that we've been waiting for. They played well on offense, they played well on defense, and they played well on special teams. There are still things they got to clean up. It wasn't a perfect game, but it was near perfect. I mean, that offense tied its season high with 42 points, while the defense held the opposing team under 20 points since the Raiders game on October 30th. That was something they were doing often at the beginning of the season. And I know it was against the Panthers, it was against the Falcons, some other teams, but holding the teams under 20 was huge. And then on defense, they held the Broncos, who have a pretty good rushing attack to 3 yards per carry. That's everything because we talked about it before. Russ likes to get into that play action pass. That's their bread and butter, and they never got in a rhythm on offense. We saw Russ under pressure most of the day and under pressure in the pocket. We didn't let him get out and get mobile and make too much happen with his feet. He did hit a couple big plays. There were a couple big plays via penalty. There was the one on Alex Anzalone. But for the most part, man, that defense did its job. And it was with guys who were stepping up that haven't played much this season. It was an inspiring football game that shows you, no, the Broncos aren't the best team in the NFL, but they've been one of the hottest, and the things that the Lions needed to do to prove that they're contenders, that they can go on a run, whatever that means to anybody, that they can contend in the NFL, they showed us that.
And one of the biggest things I took out of this as well, everything you said there, brother, this made me think of, I put a video in our thing here, and it was basically just Jared Goff talking about kind of this team's kind of superpower. And because like you said, yes, on Saturday's game, it felt like that was one of the best games they played all year, and they dominated. And if you play at that level in the playoffs, you can beat any football team. And that's the thing. And the biggest part of that as well that makes me kind of a little bit positive on this is how bad they played the last 3 or 4 weeks before Saturday, and they were able to still find a way and bounce back and not just win this game, but dominate and get back to their old self. So Jared Goff, he talked about it here, talking about kind of the superpower of this football team and what it means and what the superpower is. Because I think this is, when you're looking at a contending team, being able to do this is it's insane. And they've done it every single time this season after a loss. So Jalen, do you have that video there, JG?
Every team goes through that, but our superpower is how we respond. And it starts with Dan, and it then goes to me, and through the offense and the coordinators and the coaches, everybody. Our superpower is how we respond as a team, as a unit, as a group. We've been through a lot of adversity as a group, and a 3-game lull where we've won 1 of 3. It's not the worst thing we've been through. So being able to bounce back is something that we've prided ourselves on, and tonight was a big one to bounce back with.
All right, you guys heard him there. The biggest superpower of this Detroit Lions team is basically just adversity and bouncing back. When you're in a rut, being able to bounce back and find a way to go win football games. I don't think that just has to do with them coming off a loss. I think when you get in the playoffs, if you're struggling within a game, that these guys are able to pull it together. We saw it in that Bears game. Like, you saw it in real time, in real action within that Bears game when you're down 2 touchdowns basically with 3 minutes to go, and Dan probably gets those guys together. Jared gets those guys together and say, hey, listen, we're about to bounce, but we're going to go win this football game. This isn't even a question. And that's where I think Jared is spot on with it. It's our big, like, they have not lost back-to-back football games this year.
That's huge.
And as bad as we think they were the last 4 weeks leading up to this, they were 4-2 within that 6-game stretch. Like, they were still winning games. They were able to bounce back, go through adversity, and find ways to win. Now, there are things going into this game. I think we all can agree that there were a lot of mistakes that needed to be cleaned up. Dan talked about it all week. And then after the game, he even said, like, hey, I told you guys last week, there's a few things we need to clean up for us to get back to that level, and we haven't done it for weeks. We're going to clean those things up this week, and we'll be ready to go. And after the game, he was like, we cleaned those things up, and we won the football game. And we didn't just win. We dominated the Broncos, who was a hot team at the time. So, Broder, that superpower of theirs, that's deadly.
100%. It's what we saw on certain plays earlier in the season and certain games. Jared Goff, remember the Packers game in the first half? He had his 1 interception. The very next drive, he went down and he threw for a touchdown, got them right back on track. That happened a lot at the beginning of the season, and every time they lost a game, they would win the next one. Now we're seeing it again. This is a little bigger stretch of poor play, but they answered the bell with everything we could have seen to sort of change our minds. And like you said about Dan Campbell talking about giving them everything in practice, that's exactly what Sam Laporta said after the game too. He talked about not just the consistency of Jared Goff and the coaching staff, but how hard they practice all year, something he hasn't seen. There's a video of Sam Laporta that I want to show you in the locker room after talking about just that. He's like, I'm a rookie. I don't know everything yet, but I can't imagine there are people practicing as hard as we do. Those aren't his exact words, but these are his exact words. Jalen, if you could run that, please.
I got you. Which one? I got 2 of these, Broder. Which one?
It's the one on the coaching staff, Goff, and how hard they practice.
Okay, I got you. I didn't want to confuse you.
Jared Goff this week, just his mindset. He had 9 turnovers over the last 4 games. What was he like? Did he set the tone for y'all? Or was that the best you've seen him since you've been here so far? How does it assess his performance?
I think it starts with Jared. It certainly starts with the head coach and obviously all the leaders on the team. I mean, if you could have seen us at practice this week, we were really flying around. I don't know how many teams in the league. Obviously, I haven't been around the league very long, but it's week 15 and we were getting after it. Like, we were flying around the field. So, I mean, we just got to keep building on these wins and see where we can go.
Doesn't that seem like a team on Saturday that practiced hard all week? Like, they got after it, and they didn't have the best start on offense. They had 3 straight punts in the first quarter, but they still had that energy in the first quarter that you're looking for, and their defense played well in the first quarter. They didn't let the Broncos get on the board, even their first drive when they were driving. The very first play they hit, was it Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy right down the middle for a big game? It's like, oh boy, here we go again. But they weathered the storm, turned it around, and by the time the second quarter hit, It was all systems go.
You know, it was one thing that I loved as well, Dan Campbell. I'm pretty sure were you in the Dan Campbell post game?
I wasn't. We either get to pick the locker room or the press conference. I went locker room.
You go locker room?
Yeah.
That's fair. Locker room's great because you can listen back to the
they got the press conference streamed. They record that, so I go.
That's smart. The thing is with that, though, is I'm pretty sure Dan kind of gave an example of what Sam Laporta's like, and I believe he was speaking about Sam Laporta, and he said he reminds me a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I was going to talk about it at 8:45, but yes.
And how he kind of approaches the game, getting ready, preparing all week at practice, how he goes out there, and just the way he plays the game at a different level. And I think and I know a lot of people kind of go at all the time what is the word that I'm looking for here that people always go at, the culture and everything. Oh, the vibes. People are like, oh, the vibes. Like, the vibes is Amon-Ra St. Brown. The vibes is Sam Laporta. When you have your coach sitting, like, you guys love the way Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of works and puts the work in, and now he's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. That's the same way Sam Laporta is, and now he's a top 2 right now tight end in the NFL. So when you're talking about the vibes, Brad Holmes, he knows the vibes, fellas. He knows the vibes because he's got those guys that we're looking at it right now. He's drafted how many players that are in the top 5 at their position right now that he's drafted? Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. I'll throw Jahmyr Gibbs in there right now at running back in the stretch of games that he's played.
I support that.
I would put him in the top 5 as a running back with these last 5, 6, 7 weeks that he's been playing.
Bet you he would too.
And guess who's drafted all of those guys because of the vibes?
Vibes with the
Brad Holmes. And if he didn't have those vibes, he would probably have went Bijan. And he probably wouldn't have traded back and gotten yourself a Sam Laporta and gotten you a Jack Campbell and a Brian Branch. So these guys, I'm telling you, like, these players right now, these young guys, I cannot wait to see kind of in the future. Like, Sam Laporta.
Save it, Booner. 8:45, we're going deep on them.
I'm sorry.
In that pause.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said
8:45.
Weird.
We're talking rookies, but it was a game. Get ready to tell them about the Lions pregame show and then Big Boy. But
yes,
it was one of those special things, and we'll talk about it later at some point. But Jameson Williams, the fact that they got him involved right from their first start,
Lions,
I think that set the tone for the entire game, even with the passes not being completed early on.
Oh yeah,
set the tone.
All right, let me tell you guys about first off the Lions, Woodward Sports Lions pregame show, hosted by your own Jeff, not your own, but the one and only Jeff Ifrady, and then your own Booner is on the show as well. That is Sundays from 9:30 to 11:30, typically on a normal Sunday. I've realized this year we've had a lot of non-Sunday games, which is not like it for the Detroit Lions. But
get used to it moving forward.
Yes, make sure you guys check it out on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And then head over to Big Boy. It is wintertime in Detroit, and it is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. And if it wants some breakfast, those stuffed potato pancakes, they are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe garden. Also, they have the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. And at the end of all of it, you can top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. Make sure you check it out over at your local Big Boy.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. It has the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. You can also check out their flagship dealership in Dearborn today. LesStanford.com. Find the brand you want. LesStanford.com.
All right, welcome back into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys here tuning in. Beautiful Monday night, nice football game. Well, this is actually a good football game. Geno Smith was supposed to play, and Drew Lock is on the field right now. Every single reporter, Adam Schefter, all those big-time guys all put out Geno Smith's active, he's going. And guess what? He's not on the field. That's bad for Detroit. That's not good for us. While you're at it, though, hit that like button as you guys come in. Let's get over 50 likes by the end of this segment. And this is a big one for us, Broder. And for you, too, really.
Yeah, let's not set up that way. I mean, I'm not looking to troll people.
We're not.
Jared Goff did the talking.
No,
I was never looking.
It's like wearing this shirt.
He did what I expected. Yes, 5 touchdowns is more than he's thrown, I think, as a Lion. But he did what I expected to him. And this may be a controversial take. He played better than he has, better than that Bears game. But it's not like he did anything extraordinarily better. Just things fell in place a little bit better. The game plan was better. Opening up J-Mo early on in the game, although there were 3 straight punts in the first quarter, what'd that do for the rest of the game? That middle of the field was open. The Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, a little diamond route out of the backfield, wide open. Jared Goff threw it perfectly in stride. Phenomenal ball placement for Jahmyr Gibbs to catch it pretty open in the middle of the field for a touchdown. Same with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Hit him right in the middle of the field because J-Mo and Patrick Surtain were on the outside battling, and there was more space, more stuff. That's the value of even just targeting him. The 4 catches were awesome, and he made some great catches. He made some great moves after the catch, but those 7 targets are everything. It changes everything that the defensive coordinator has to prepare for, and then you pair that up with how Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery were running. Game over. There's no team that can beat him. Yes, Jared Goff needs everyone, needs all these pieces around him, and he had them, and they put up 42. I love it. He did what he was supposed to do. Everyone else stepped up. It was a really fun night on offense.
Yeah, and that's a conversation I want to have. Is the conversation the last 4 weeks in this slump has been Jared Goff. And has been kind of where does he land on this radar. I think a lot of people, and this is the kind of the argument that's been going around, and people have been going at it feels like, and it's been separating this fan base one day at a time. And I don't like what it's doing to people because when you look at it, like, we can all agree, right? Jared Goff had a bad 4 weeks of football.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I wouldn't say bad 4 weeks. He had a bad 3 weeks in the last 4 weeks because versus New Orleans, he didn't have any turnovers, played a solid game.
Yeah.
But those 3 games that he had where he had 9 turnovers, the issue. And I think that's very, very
We never denied that.
But outside of those 3 weeks, when you look at a game like Saturday, it shows the potential of what he can do when he has the right pieces around him. When he has the offensive line that's healthy, which is when you have the running backs that you have, the receivers that you have, the coordinator that you have, the head coach that you have. And then at the other side, you saw it as well. Aaron Glenn's defense is doing what they're doing, and they're able to help you out. We've seen this offense do that behind Jared Goff, not just like this 3-game stretch that he had with all those turnovers. I think the 19 other wins that he has had where I don't know how many times in those 19 wins they've scored over 30 points, but there's a handful there.
Probably at least 13.
Yes, and since this 24-game stretch of football that this Lions team has looked like one of the best teams in football every single week, they've been a top 5 offense. Right now, they're currently 3rd in the NFL in offense. They're 3rd in pass, and that's the thing. It's like, oh, he can't pass. They're 3rd in the NFL in passing offense. He's 3rd in yards per game. He's 3rd in touchdowns per game. They're 3rd in total offense. They're 5th in total points per game. This whole year, this isn't like, hey, they just did this on Saturday. No, this offense has been doing this all year. And even when they struggled the last 3 or 4 weeks, they've still put numbers up. They've just had turnovers with it. And that's the thing I think a lot of people start to overweigh is like, oh, let's take this 3-game stretch as a sample size and say this is what Jared Goff and this offense really is. Because it's not. Because we've seen for the last 24 games, this offense has been a top 5 offense in the NFL. And you could say, oh, yeah, it's Ben Johnson, it's this, it's that. Go tell me a quarterback, and yes, like I think Jared Goff, to be honest, he's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
No.
What the stats may show it, he's not top 5. He's not top 7. He's probably at 8 to 12 range. But go show me another quarterback in that range that doesn't need an OC, that doesn't need an offensive line, that doesn't need a running back, that doesn't need receivers, that can go out there without any Pro Bowl guys and go win football games besides Patrick Mahomes. Because that's just not a real, you're being unrealistic here. And then if you want to start talking money and $50 million, that's for the birds. The money right now is for the birds.
It's just a totally different conversation.
It is, and you have him for another year. And if you add him on, I guarantee you, I can look you in the eyes and guarantee you, that man's not going to sign a $50 million contract. He knows what it is. He knows this is where he's going to win and spend the rest of his career. So these conversations that are being had, I think Saturday showed that you need to put a little bit of respect on his name. Taylor Decker spoke about it after the game. Dan Campbell spoke about it after the game. C.J. Garner-Johnson's been tweeting about it for about a week now. Is the disrespect that's been going on around this team. And I said it on the pregame show Saturday. It's taken away from all of us talking about this football team.
Right.
It's made some of the fan base not even realize that you're one win away from a division title. So I think this game that you saw, it looked like an MVP performance. 5 touchdowns, and right now you're third in the league in passing yards, third in total touchdowns. Go compare his stats right now to Brock Purdy, who's in the lead. I can guarantee you he's only a couple, like maybe 100 or so yards away from passing yards, and he's maybe a couple touchdowns away, and he's only a few interceptions ahead of him. Yeah. 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah.
So this acting like it's a up here and all the way down here thing is nuts to me.
And the thing is, when he gets those things, when he gets time, when he gets his protection in the running, when he gets the things around him, he's about as good as anybody in the league at picking a defense apart. There are few QBs that can make better, more accurate decisions. In ball placement, I keep bringing up, that's a huge thing. Something you'll hear his teammates, the wide receivers, talk about all the time. Him keeping them out of danger, him putting the ball where they can catch it and run after the catch, which is different than accuracy. Accuracy is completion percentage and making sure you get it, in a safe place, but ball placement is almost more important.
I'm sorry, I just want Tyler Chevet in the chat. He said they haven't been doing this all year. Tyler Chevet, we are how many games in right now? 14 games?
Yes.
3 to go? You're 14 games into a season. That's a pretty big sample size, correct? Broder, am I wrong?
Yeah,
That's a big sample size.
It's almost a full season.
14 games in, you're third in the NFL in total yards. You're fourth in passing yards. You're second in rushing yards, and you're fifth in total points. Haven't been doing this all year. If you haven't been doing this all year, you wouldn't be top 5 in every single offensive category. The offense is literally top 5 in every single category right now in the NFL. We are, as Lions fans and as people in the media, there's been a 3-game bad stretch, and the overreaction from that 3-game stretch, and I get it. I went at some of these people, some of these guys as well on the team, because it was well deserved, because it was a bad 3-game stretch. But to act like this isn't a football team in the last 3 weeks was a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and first off, shout out Mike Hilton. I love the show. Thanks, Woodward Nights. $2 donation. Thank you, Mike. We really appreciate you and everyone else here hanging with us. But if you don't want to listen to us, listen to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Here's a video of him from the locker room talking about Jared Goff and his consistency. Listen to Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God.
The beast. He's been playing this league for a long time. He's seen a lot of things. He's had things go both ways, and so he knows how to bounce back. It's nothing new for him, and we're grateful to have a quarterback like that who we can depend on, rely on, lean on. Because, like I said, he's been to the big game. He knows what it looks like. He knows what it takes to get there. So, I mean, whenever and where we have.
There it is. Talk about consistency. He's someone that they trust. Amon-Ra St. Brown, as good a receiver in this league, I'll say it. He trusts him. He's the same. Jahmyr Gibbs said the same thing. He's the same quarterback. His consistency is what they appreciate. They know what their quarterback's going to give. And then to address some of the questions, we heard a lot about him stepping up in the pocket and some of the things he can't do from a mobility perspective. But you look into that second quarter, when the Lions, it was still a 0-0 ball game. It was the Lions' 4th drive after 3 straight punts. They were on a 3rd and 6. Goff faced a ton of pressure. He stayed in the pocket, stepped up, and threw a BB to Sam Laporta for a 7-yard pass, a first down. Very next play hit Josh Reynolds for a 21-yard catch. And then the next play was the touchdown to Laporta. All set up from that 3rd and 6, him being able to step into the pocket, step up into pressure, and make a play with a precision pass. That's what I want in my quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Did you have another video you wanted to play?
We can show that Jahmyr Gibbs real quick.
Yeah,
I think it's a shorter one. Here's one: Jahmyr Gibbs on Goff and his consistency throughout the week and the season.
Is that the best that you saw Jared Goff all this season, just today? Man, how many touchdowns? 5. I don't know if he had 5 before this game, but I don't know, he was clicking. He was going crazy today. Yeah, he's doing a great job commanding the offense all week, getting us all together and playing like he plays. You see, when a guy responding like that, 9 turnovers over the last 4 games before today. How was he this week as far as the preparation?
Jared's always the same guy, ups and downs. He's always going to be the same dude. Motivates us, always pushes us to be better. That's why I like him so much, because he's always consistent.
And that's the message from just about everybody on the team. And although we might not have time to play tonight, maybe later on in the show, Taylor Decker went on about a 50-second to 1-minute rant just about Jared Goff being the scapegoat and being disrespectful this last week. But I want to keep it positive. You can just see all the positive things that his teammates, these playmakers, these weapons, they're not talking about him having the biggest arm in the world or him being super mobile. They're talking about the things he can do to help the team, and that's what I appreciate.
At the end of the day, that duck that everyone talks about, that Jared Goff throws, that duck has traveled for 3,700 yards this year, which is it's the 3rd most traveled duck in the NFL right now. So as much as we want to talk about how bad these throws are, this and that, can't put it in this spot, can't put it in that spot, this team scored 30-plus in 7 games. That duck has gone for the 3rd most yards in the NFL so far this season.
What about since 2017?
Since 2017, that duck has went for the most yards in the NFL total. Most touchdowns. There's so many
most 20-yard passes.
Most 20-yard passes. There's just a lot of things that get covered up here because of this duck thing or this thing or that thing.
Let's talk about the good stuff.
And I get, and this is the situation I ran into today. I put in the morning Woodward Show chat. It's like, hey, Booner, if you talk anything bad about the Detroit Lions, you're a hater. But hey, if you say something good about them and you try and be positive, you're a slap. Listen, I'm going to tell how it is always.
Let's all be friends.
The last 3 weeks, it was bad. There was issues going on. There was turnovers. The defense was giving up a ton of things. The defense wasn't getting turnovers. The offense looked bad. The offensive line had injuries. Now, I think everyone we knew when this line got healthy, when you had all of those weapons, when Ben Johnson was rolling, when the defense stepped up and gave you a chance, that was when things were going to start clicking, and we saw that on Saturday. And we've seen it in 19 of the last 24 football games, or 18 of the last 24 football games this team has played. This team has lost 6 games in 24 games.
That's incredible.
And there's people that are still complaining about quarterback play. This team is 1 win away from winning a division title since 1991. Let's go, boys.
I'm pumped. Next, what do you
think
think
about this?
Yeah, I love in that video you could see where Gibbs talked about Goff's demeanor throughout the week. He knew that he was getting ridiculed the last 4 weeks, and he knew that he needed to be the guy to step up for this Lions team to get everybody back on board, and he clearly pulled through on Saturday night against the Denver Broncos with an all-time performance.
That's right.
And Tyler Chevalier, yeah, I did say we've been at this level all year. I mean, when I said this level, if you listen, as Jeff says, and Tyler, huge listener, I love Tyler. I was talking about being a top 5 offense, not putting 40-plus points up every game. I said, this is a top 5 offense in the NFL, and they've been playing at that level almost the whole season besides a couple games stretch. All right. I need to stay positive here.
Oh yeah,
some
no,
of this
you're
stuff
good.
Gets me.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff, especially with the golf, and I'm not a golf gobbler whatsoever, and that's where I think people are like, "Oh, Booner gets worked up from." I'm not a golf gobbler. If you go back and watch some of my podcasts from earlier this year before I started doing this, you would see that I did shows with Easy about Jared Goff and about not paying him the money that he wants.
You do.
But
tell
I'm very realistic.
You've gotten kind of roped in with me because I've supported Goff too.
I tell it how it is.
Exactly.
Always. If he plays bad, I will let you know. But the disrespect on his is on a different level, and people are forgetting what this Detroit Lions team is really doing because they're so worked about ducks. Go duck hunting.
Quack, quack, quack.
Go
Mr.
get your
Ducksworth.
duck hunting license if you love ducks so much. Quit talking about it on air.
You got. We're talking about the rookies next, so I know you're going to be positive then. But tell them about Woodward and Maine real quick.
Woodward and Maine.
Yes.
Great show. Make sure you guys check it out tomorrow, actually, 7 to 8 a.m. Correct, Broder?
Yep.
That is the Woodward
one.
Sports Lions Insider Show, hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. Tuesdays, 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays, 8 to 9 a.m. All of the insider information you need.
Boom.
Make sure you go check it out.
Then you can experience the Dispo difference this Christmas season because Dispo is giving away a TV as well as 2 $100 in-store gift cards per week at participating locations for the month of December. Nobody does it like the Dispo family, so unwrap the joy of Dispo Dispensary every week. Join them in celebrating the holidays. See store for more details. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
How would you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack of Cintron today and enter to win at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste so you can look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. Enter now at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Cintron, baby. Lions, baby.
Lions, baby.
Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. If you guys can, as you guys come in here, share the stream with a friend. Tell a friend, be a friend. Let some people know here that the boys are talking some ball right now. And hit that like button for us. Let's get it up here over 75, heading into the second hour of the show.
And wish the legendary Chris Platty a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I did give him a birthday gift.
CP. Is this something we can talk about on
I don't know.
How to do this.
If Chris wants to tell the people in the chat what I got him, but I did get him a sick birthday gift.
NBA savant Chris Platty that you're talking about.
I heard
Happy
something
birthday,
about a
Chris.
10-leg parlay.
Did he hit?
I think it's going on now.
I should have taken it, man. He didn't send it to me. I sent him a birthday gift. He didn't send me back the parlay. I feel it, though. All right, let's get into this. We're going to talk about these rookies, man, because hey, these dudes, they had a day, and I think they deserve the respect to kind of get their own segment here. Yeah, and shout out to Brad Holmes. Like I said earlier, I meant to save it. I get in these moments and these moods where I just start, what's the word, like word vomiting everything that I have in my notes because I get so excited and so amped up about the show.
Do you, Booner?
But just think of like Brad Holmes with these rookies. I wanted to start it off with this. And you put it in here. And kudos to Brad Holmes on this. Because not only has he just drafted these 2 guys, he has drafted so many guys, like I said earlier in the show, that are top 5 in their position. And it just and whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was later in the draft, Brian Branch, who is second round and fell to him, Jack Campbell, and I know Jack isn't there yet, but he will be. Jahmyr Gibbs, who, right, my opinion, Broder, after yesterday, if you break these stats down in the last 4 or 5 weeks, that man might be a top 5 running back in the league right now.
Oh, he is.
Did you guys watch some of those runs he had?
C-Mac? We'll do that another time.
Yeah, maybe we'll do top 5 running backs on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Top 5 Thursday. We'll do top 5 running backs. We'll see where Jahmyr lands.
Yes.
Because he's been elite this year, or in the last 8 weeks.
Broder's stupid.
But, Broder, I'll come to you on this. I mean, these guys shine. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporte. I know you got some videos that we can go over here, but
Yeah, no, it was impressive. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 rushes, 100 yards, 1 touchdown on 1 touchdown, 2 catches for 8 yards and a touchdown. Then tight end Sam Laporta setting records, 5 catches, 56 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They are the first pair of rookies to have at least 8 touchdowns in a season in the NFL since Reggie Bush and Marcus Colston. That's impressive. This was the vision all along. This is what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell had all along when they wanted to go after Jahmyr Gibbs. And then when they wanted to target Sam Laporta, they made that trade that ended up leaving Jalen Carter on the table. You know, the rest is history. We got these 2 guys with Jack Campbell sandwiched in the middle. These 2, I don't know if I would trade either one of these straight up for Jalen Carter or many other in this draft. It's just, it's been special. So I actually did get a chance. This is more like showing what kind of personality Jahmyr Gibbs, but I asked Gibbs about the balanced running attack with David Montgomery in the locker room, and he just gave a pretty awesome response. Just shows what kind of teammate he is. Jalen, if you could play that, that'd be great.
I gotcha.
Like you and David had such a good balance all day today.
Yeah.
What's that like for you when you're on the sideline watching him run? What are you thinking, or what are you getting ready to do?
And when he's out there, I want him to score. You know, the same. You know, I'm pretty sure when I'm out there, he wants me to score. So, I think one play his shoe came off, and I was so mad because I wanted him to score because he was close to the end zone. I think it was the last drive when Laporta scored. So I was mad at him because
they tie his shoes tighter.
Yeah.
There it is. Like he could.
What happened at the end there?
So David Montgomery, he was running, he lost his shoe, and so he had to come off to the field. They were right down near the red zone, right near the goal line, and so Jahmyr Gibbs was upset that like David Montgomery couldn't get the touchdown.
Yeah, because all of us at the stream, one of the last bets that I literally swept, everything I gave out on the pregame show, I swept. The only thing that I took kind of outside of what I gave out was it was a Spanish parlay that he gave me. The last thing on that was a D-Mont touchdown, and then I took a Jahmyr Gibbs and D-Mont touchdown parlay. So I would have swept the whole day. Wouldn't have not lost a bet if D-Mont would have scored. And he came out of the, we were like, why is Gibbs in? And that kind of makes me mad.
It's incredible. It's that balance.
That's
and
tough.
And maybe we'll go in more depth about this later in the week because we want to talk about Sam Laporta too. But the balance between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and we were having a little discussion before the show about who should be 1 and who should be number 2, and maybe we will get deeper into that later. But to me, it's that sort of thunder and lightning, the different changes speeds, and I hate to do that to our football people. I sometimes think about this in a baseball sense, in a pitcher sense. Just when you're able to change speeds on the hitter, it changes their eyes, it changes their timing, their tempo. Imagine being on the defense. You have David Montgomery, who still runs hard. He's no slouch. He runs hard. He breaks tackles. He comes at you with his shoulder down. And then out of nowhere, the next play, Jahmyr Gibbs has the ball, can cut on a dime, can explode with the best of them in the NFL. It's special. It's hard to game plan against. It's hard to play against. And they're both hard to tackle. You see, we don't have a video of this maybe later in the week, but I asked Jahmyr Gibbs about – I had the Deuce Staley and the DeAndre Swift Hard Knocks conversation in my mind about like not going out of bounds, and at the end of a run there were 2 or 3 runs he had where he lowered his shoulder and he was like, I always want an extra yard. I was looking to score on that play, the 12-yard touchdown pass he caught. Bro. I'm like, that man is not afraid to put his head down. I don't know if the Lions want him to every single time, but you want that mentality out of your running back.
We should go back and clip. I remember maybe it was a month ago on Top 5 Thursday, we did Top 5 running back duos. And I think we had them at number 1.
I think so.
That long ago. And I think now it's just a clear, that much more. Like, there's no one in the NFL that has what these 2 guys have.
No.
And the thing is D-Mont signed a 3-year contract. And Jahmyr Gibbs is on a rookie deal.
For 5.
You have these guys for at least 2 more seasons after this together playing with each other.
It's impressive. And Laporta, I know we haven't even talked about him that much in this section, but Laporta, I mean, there have been conversations today about, is he the best tight end in the NFL?
Yes.
Rookie or not? Yes. And it's not outrageous. You have an opinion?
I made a tweet.
Let's see it.
I was going crazy on Twitter. I said I think he's better than Travis Kelce. This year, I think he's outdoing him. I think Travis is kind of lost a little bit with the T Swift shit. You know what I mean? But I think Sam is the best tight end in the league outside of like George Kittle. Maybe I think it's those 2.
Those 3 are my top 3.
And I think Sam can be like a reserve in the Pro Bowl. I think he'll make a Pro Bowl bid.
He absolutely has to be in the Pro Bowl.
As a reserve for sure, I think he's gonna break that record. I think down the line he's gonna end up being top 5 for the next 5 or 10 years with no effort at all. to me. I don't know.
That's
a reach. I don't know.
How about this? His 9 touchdown receptions not only set the team rookie record for tight end position, but any position. There haven't been a rookie that's caught 9 touchdown passes in a season.
He might go all pro.
He might go all pro.
That's the question I wanted to pose to you boys.
He might go all
Who is he competing with? Is it like Hawk and
Kittle?
And this is the thing. If you look at the stats, he's still behind T.J. Hawkinson. He's behind Travis Kelce. He's behind George Kittle, and then it's Sam Laporta. That's where it starts to get a little bit like.
Hawk has 5 touchdowns though.
Yeah. I mean, he has 9
team.
touchdowns. He's leading. I believe he might be leading the tight ends in touchdowns.
He is,
so
for sure.
that's going to be kind of the thing. I would like him to get all pro, but it's tough when you have those guys.
True.
It depends. These next 3 weeks, we had this conversation 2 weeks ago. We had the conversation 2 weeks ago, and we talked about could he be an all-pro, and what did we say? We said it literally comes down to these final 4 or 5 weeks, and we said if he starts to do what he did to start the year and turn things around, because he did have a little bit of a lull, but since we had that conversation, he had what, 140 yards and a touchdown. He's had a 3 touchdown game, so he's been making moves since we had that conversation about putting him in that all-pro conversation. Now it's about seeing can he keep doing that, and what do these other guys do?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to put him ahead of maybe, I don't know. It's tough to put him ahead of Travis Kelce right now because he still has
True.
15 more receptions and 200 more yards. But when you start breaking down the touchdowns and stuff, you may be able to start putting him ahead of a George Kittle.
And imagine if he goes and he gets 3 more touchdowns. They got 3 games, a touchdown a game. Imagine if he has another game like he did in New Orleans where it's 140 or even, 115 or 120. He's going to have 1,000 receiving yards. He's going to have 12 touchdowns. Like that's
receiver numbers, man.
That is receiver numbers.
Like all pro receiver numbers.
That's incredible. And I will have to, and this is more recency bias, but David Njoku of the Browns is moving up there in my ranks.
He's going nuts.
He played incredibly last night.
Yeah.
So I like him.
I think right now, if I had to pick an all-pro, I think I would just go Travis Kelce and T.J. Hawk. Just with T.J. Hawkinson has 90 receptions in over 800 or 900 yards.
If the Vikings sneak into the playoffs, I'll accept that.
I really think that, I
don't know. I probably factor winning.
He's going to end with over 100 receptions and over 1,000 yards, and I don't think Laporta will get that.
No.
And then same with Kelce. He's going to have over 1,000 and 100 catches as well. With Laporta, he'll be close to it. I just don't think he'll get there.
How about this? Would you ever the trade Hawk for a draft pick and that's a win, a franchise changing trade?
The Vikings should be that was Brad Holmes, because rookie contract. It's a rookie. You have literally a guy at the same level as a rookie on that rookie deal where you are have him for 4 years, right? And he's going to just get better and better and better. I bet you next year he has a better year than Hawk. For sure.
Without a doubt.
He's going to have a better year than Hawk next year.
What up, Nick?
And on the pace that Laporta's at with his touchdowns, if he ends the season, say, with the 12, like Broder said, and T.J. Hawkinson only has 6, I do think that you can take a serious look at those TD numbers. And the discussion, I would go Laporta, but I'm not biased at all.
It's okay. The discussion would be there to be had.
If you have over 100 receptions and 1,000 yards as a tight end, that's
impressive.
That's Gonzalez numbers, man.
And those are 2 guys right now, Travis Kelce and T.J. Hawk, are about to do that. So that's just where I'm unless Laporta catches those numbers, I don't see it.
Totally fair. Let me tell you again about Jack Labrador, because drafting is complicated in business and in sports. Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald, Darko over D-Wade, Carmelo, and Chris Bosh, Stanley Johnson. Oh man, Stanley over Booker. Let me help you out. Jack Labrador should be your #1 overall stocking stuffer pick this year. 1 deck, 3 games, fun for the whole family for less than $20. You'll love your Jack Labrador pick more than you'll love Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. Draft like Brad Holmes. Draft at jacklabrador.com now or scan the QR code above. Booner?
Let me tell you guys about Hamlin Pub. Look at those wings there. Those things are great. If you haven't gone to Hamlin Pub yet, go check it out and have some of those wings. Make sure you guys check them out. They have head over to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. They have half-off pizza on Thursdays, or you can go on game days, and they have specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub, it is the place to be. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness! Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Do you have football on the brain? Well,
Yes,
this winter
I do.
ushers in college and professional football. We got Michigan versus Bama, and we got Lions making a playoff run. So this winter, I'd encourage you to also shop your home and auto insurance with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they definitely should be covering you too. So ask for Mark today at SwissINS.com or call 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance Group. Let's go.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys here. I know there's a Monday Night Football game in on that has a lot of implications for the Detroit Lions. I'm sure that's why some people aren't watching right now.
We got a crowd here.
But we've got people who showed up.
The chat is buzzing. We appreciate you guys. A lot of good positivity, a lot of good debates. You don't all have to agree with each other, but I love the debates that are going on and how you guys are handling it.
And hit those like buttons too. Nick just, every time I do an intro, if you guys want a little behind the scenes here, Nick just looks at me. All I see out of the corner of my eye is he just keeps throwing up the thumbs up. Hit the like button for Nick, please, so he stops giving me the thumbs up.
Steve Lehman, we here, homies.
I love it.
We got Steve, we got Shane, Travis. I know you. Hey, Travis is a Woodward Sports Network employee. Just a fan, Vincent Ellison, Bo Booth, Peaceful Tim. So many of you, Shift God. I didn't just read everybody, so I appreciate you all.
Appreciate everyone. Hey, we're going to get into this. We do our
so excited
game balls, but we call it our Kool-Aid pitchers because if you guys didn't know, I do drink a lot of Kool-Aid. If you guys hadn't seen this week's video was fun. I got to throw some shoulder pads on, a Lions helmet. I tackled someone outside where that was walking by. It was pretty sweet.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I just Jack Campbell.
We're going to show it at the end?
We can, yeah. I can send it through. We could definitely show it.
Of course, Booner.
But Kool-Aid pitchers of the game / game balls of the game. Broder, we're going to do offense, defense. I'll start with you. I think we have the same defensive guy.
Yeah, we do.
We'll do that last.
Deal.
Let's save that last because he deserves a little bit of a...
Yeah, we could talk about some other guys, but it's iffy. Iffy
let's save it for
Melifano.
the
Sorry.
end. Save it
I'm
to the end.
sorry.
Save it to the end.
Okay.
Just
Booner.
think about Iffy. We'll come back to him.
Yes, if you're
I
iffy
want
on
to
who
give
to pick.
Iffy time.
Yes.
He deserves a lot of time.
Booner, why don't you tell me who you would pick as your offensive player of the game for the Lions? Who's getting that Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid pitcher?
Should I just stick with the narrative around my name right now? That I'm a Slappy and Booner Slappy, Goff Slappy. Give me Jared Goff.
Oh, hell yeah!
Jared Goff.
JG.
He didn't just have a great game. He bounced back from a bad 4-game stretch, and he went out there, in my opinion, 24 for 34 through the air. 278 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers, 76 QBR, 134 quarterback rating. Jared Goff is my offensive player of the game. He deserves it. He was able, if you watch some of the throws, I get some of the throws were, yes, might have been ducks, but some of the throws that he had, he zipped them into there.
Ducksworth.
He put the ball where it needed to be in the red zone. I believe he was. I believe the Lions were 6 for 6 in the red zone, and he threw for all 5 of his interceptions or touchdowns was in the red zone as well. So he dominated in the red zone. Jared Goff deserves it. After all the stuff that he took the last 4 weeks, I think after a game like that, you saw CJ come out and talk about it. You saw all of his teammates come out and talk about it. Jared Goff deserves his flowers after that game Saturday. Yes, he had an offensive line. Yes, he had the weapons, and yes, he had the running backs, and he had the run game. But he still, as bad as people think he is, if he was as bad as you thought he was, every game he would go out there and throw for interceptions, and he did not. 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That was an MVP performance that he went out there and did in front of the home crowd. Jared Goff, you get the cooler today.
Cheers.
To you,
I get it. 24, 34, 278, and 5 touchdowns. Impressive. C1985 Paul says Frank Ragnow. There's a Goff from Art Vandelay, Goff from Phil, Goff from Just a Fan. I saw Ragnow, Uncle Neil's feet. And here's one, Uncle Neil's feet, the O-line. I've seen a couple people go that way. I love that.
Shout out to the O-line.
You
they
really
were healthy
could.
And they were rolling.
You could give it to the O-line. You could give it to Sam Laporta. You could give it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to give it to Jahmyr Gibbs. And we just talked about him a lot. He was electric. He was that perfect thunder and lightning balance. Or I guess peanut butter and jelly Dan Campbell used with David Montgomery. He just adds an element to this team, similar to Jameson Williams, where you have no idea how big of the play can happen when it starts. If he gets a hole, it could be a touchdown. It could be a 40-yard run. He's been special.
And the reason I've had this conversation, I said it 2 weeks ago at our watch party, to make him kind of and we'll do actually a segment on it this week, just making Jahmyr Gibbs your RB1, getting him to more touches. I don't know how many he had. I think he had 11 rushes and 2 catches. So he only had 13 touches and did what he did. If you can find a way to get him more involved, and I know we'll have this argument that there's that balance that you want to have still, but that man is one of the most explosive players in the NFL when he touches the ball, just getting off the ball, when he makes his cuts, just bouncing bro. I don't know how you can't say get that man the ball more.
100%.
He averaged 9 yards a carry.
We'll have the conversation. Of course, I want the ball in his hand more, but just the balance between Montgomery and Gibbs. There will be a time where we want. Did I just mumble? We want Montgomery to have. He only has 17 touches. He'll have a game where he has 25, maybe in the playoffs. But now they got a game plan. There's so much that goes into that dynamic. But
I think you could still have the balance, but I think you can just flip the balance. Like, instead of giving D-Mont 20 touches a game, give Gibbs those 20 touches and give D-Mont the 15.
Maybe.
Because if you're getting 9 yards a carry and you get 5 more, what is that? What's 9 times 5? Smart man.
35. Yeah.
That adds. That man's rushing for 150, 200 yards a game.
100%.
So that's where
Does he get more tired at the end of the game? How's his fourth quarter look? I'm just being a little devil's advocate.
A rookie.
Let's talk
He's
defense. We've been talking about Gibbs for a while. Let's talk about that defense. But Travis Maddox did have a really good comment. He said, I'm not gonna be able to find it, but it was Josh Reynolds could have been the real MVP or unsung hero. There were a lot of unsung heroes in that game, but Josh Reynolds stepped up. He had himself a game. So defense, Booner. I already kind of gave it away, but who you got? It has to be.
Hey, shout out. I watched a post-game interview. I think Danny Rogers interviewed him. The way he just went about all this situation going on, where he all these injuries that he had, and he just, in his head, he said it 100 times. He's like, I knew I could play. Like, I knew what I could do. And he showed it not just this week, but the week before. 9 total tackles, 6 solo, a sack, tackle for a loss, pass deflection.
The first one. Sorry, that's my fault. I didn't mean to. I was whispering. I didn't think you would hear that.
2 pass deflections, 2 quarterback hits. Ife Melifonwu, he is the defensive player of the game, hands down. If you're not going to give it to him, that man was out there dominating. He was all over the ball. It felt like Brian Branch week 1 in Kansas City when it was someone was on the ball. We're like, who is that? Brian Branch. Yesterday or Saturday, it was. Who is that? That's Iffy. That's Iffy. That's number 9. That's Iffy. Is he 9? 6. Number 6. That's Iffy. That man dominated, and I hope he just keeps it up. So it just adds another dimension to his defense.
Yeah, the thing about Iffy is although we haven't seen this talent, he's got it. He's just been hurt these last 3 years. He's one of the players who Brad Holmes drafted from the Los Angeles Rams trade to Jared Goff and everybody for Matthew Stafford. He's in that. He's huge. He's 6'3", 220-some pounds. He's a really good athlete, and we saw that on the blitz that he had, the first one where he forced a fumble on Russell Wilson that Bugs picked up. He's a freak athlete, and with that size, what you can do in the back end of that secondary or having the length to get to Russell Wilson and knock that off, that's game-changing. And just like you said, if he there's a video here about if he preparing for this role, preparing for a bigger role and not being surprised. This doesn't surprise him. He's been ready for this. He just finally has his opportunity. Jalen, if you could play that, let's do it.
Nothing in particular. I mean, I was just ready to play. I'm always ready to play. It's just I played a good game. That was it. It's just not really like surprised by it. You know what I mean? This is stuff I knew I could do. You know, I thank God for being healthy and finally being able to be out there. But this is stuff I knew I had in me and I knew I could do all along. My family knew, my friends knew. So I would say, like, they're not surprised. Obviously, like my family's, they're not surprised. My friends are not surprised. I'm not surprised by it.
That's a man who's focused. That's a man who's been preparing as if he's the starter, and he got his opportunity, and he's taken advantage of it. Now there is a traffic jam in that safety room, even before C.J. Gardner-Johnson, C.D. Deuce comes back. One thing, last video I want to show you on Iffy, he was talking about preparing, how the Lions prepared for this play where he got his strip sack and how he was ready for it. I'll let him describe it. And then he talks about Bugs picking the ball up and what he wanted Bugs to lateral it to him and keep going. It was really cool how he described it. Check this out now.
It's crazy because that play, I had the strip sack. We ran it in practice like every day in practice to the same play. And they ran the exact same play. He rolled, like I blitz from the left because he's a righty, and he rolls back and doesn't see me. He ran the same way in practice every day, and the same result.
And then what do you think when you see the big fella scoop up the ball and get going? Not quite get there, but get going.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to pitch it back, but he didn't hear me. He didn't hear me, so I was just like, let me just try to get a block. The tight end was coming to his left side. I tried to chip him a little bit. No, it was a good play. I'm gonna joke with him that he should have pitched it back because I would have scored. But no, it was a good play by him. He was fast out there too. He almost made it all the way down there. I was surprised, but it was a good play.
How great is that? First, that their preparation, they knew that exact play and they preparing for it. Shout out AG, but also that pitch. If you look at the play, if you go watch it back, you'll see him. Not only the freak athletic move, him climbing up off the ground, but chasing down Bugs and trying to like get his attention and pass it him. Eventually he turned and he went to try to block one of the players. But
that would have been all time.
Yeah.
That would have been all time if he pitches it back and then all of a sudden it's iffy. Because I'm pretty sure if he forced the fumble and then he does that, and then if he would have scored a touchdown, that would have been insane. Shout out to Iffy though. I do want to, like, he deserves all the credit in the world, and it's this thing I keep going back to that people make fun of all the time. It's like those vibes in the room.
Vibes
is you guys, like, you have the right culture guys in there, and as much as people might be mad about different things regards picking and choosing guys, is they brought the right guys in here, and now you see a guy like Iffy go out there and dominate.
Yeah.
He didn't just go out there and just play an average game. He dominated on Saturday, and the week before he went out there and showed the reason why they switched him and him and what's his name. So, like, to be honest, him and Tracy, I don't know. I'm just
those problems.
Yeah, like, I'm just shocked at a guy like Iffy. Like, we didn't talk about him all year, and then all of a sudden you have a guy back end of that safety room, and now he's your starter, and he's not just starting, he's dominating. And then next week you're gonna have CJ come back, and it's like, where's CJ? Like, you're gonna play CJ, but who gets taken out and who gets less snaps? And you have a great problem in Detroit right now.
Special.
And let's not forget that Iffy is a Brad Holmes guy. He dealt with some injuries his first couple years. He was the third rounder in that first 2021 draft that Brad Holmes had with Penei Sewell and St. Brown as well. So if he can come on late and be an absolute dude to help out that back end, could just go a long way for these Lions. Also wanted to shout out J-Mo for the 4 catches on the 7 targets. Who'd you have, Jalen?
Keep going. Keep going.
No,
all right, we're going to break.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All right, let's hit a break real quick. All right, let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness real quick. Planet Fitness, this is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you'll experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Get all of that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. More than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands throughout the world.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply because they're hands down Michigan's best pet store. They've been family owned and operated for over 30 years. They got 13 Metro Detroit locations and over 60 brands of food, the lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Does it get any better than that? Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
And I just want to say, I think, Broder, you're on another level right now, man, of excitement after this Lions win.
It is like it was such a good, complete and it's not just about Jared Goff. It's the offense and the defense and special teams. They all played well. We got to see, really for the first time all season, like a full, complete game, and that shows you.
We've been asking for a full, complete game.
Complimentary
teams,
football,
offense,
yes.
defense. That was the first, I feel like for months and months and months, it was, and Dan said it too on every press conference was, we need to play complimentary football. We need to put a full game together. And it was like, oh, they finally did it. And they did it after a bad 4-game stretch that it felt like everyone was down. Everyone was just literally I hope they just make, there was literally people in the fan base that were like, I hope they just make the playoffs. Like that, it was incredible what was going on after that Bears loss. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in here with us. If you guys can hit that like button for us. We're gonna get into something here though. We do after every single Lions game, win, loss, whatever it is. We talk about the state of the Detroit Lions, the fan base, what's going on around the city, and kind of how you guys feel. And as we do this as well, Nick, are we able to open the phone lines? Are they working?
Should be. I was not able to watch many of the shows earlier, so I typically do not have problems. Let's open these bad boys up. Call into the nighttime.
All right, I'm going to put it here in the chat real quick for you guys. We want you guys, we're going to talk about the state of the Detroit Lions a little bit, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on it as well. Like I said, as the Lions get closer and closer to this first division title since '93 and first NFC North one ever, I want to start hearing from the people on how they feel for the state of the Detroit Lions. So Nick's going to open those up. The number is 313, I believe, 5. Oh no. Over here.
I got y'all calling 313-552-6322. But Booner, and if you still got it, I'll take this for a second because we want to talk. Are our expectations of the Detroit Lions, have we gone back to where they were 4 games ago, or are we moving on? And you know what? Actually, I'm going to pose this. We're going to go the defensive route. Jalen, I'm going to come to you because you had some thoughts. What are your thoughts on this defense? And when we're thinking about the grand scheme of this season, what are your thoughts? Give me your opinion.
I think we're loaded like deep. Like I think our defense is like stacked up. I don't have an issue with the front four. We got, backups. Bugs came in. He hasn't played in how many games? We haven't seen Bugs forever, brother. So it's like him being there, making that play. You got Iffy in the secondary, all those guys. It's like Seattle. Legion of Boom, I said it, a month ago, right? They have Byron Maxwell, Desmond Lane, Brandon Browner, and those guys is like they have 7 or 8 dudes in the secondary who they can all put out there. And we have that too. It's going to be some issues in the offseason, but for right now, I think having those guys and having that depth makes us very strong because these are all unknown guys too. You don't know how to, set plays or formation against them. So it's like for us having these unknown guys, it makes us a mystery in the playoffs to me. So
I agree with you on the depth. Does the top line, does the starters, is it worry you at all that maybe there aren't many elite starters?
I don't think we have I think we have a couple. We got Hutch, you got Anzalone. I mean, you could put Derek Barnes in there, I guess, a little bit.
I wouldn't. I love Barnes, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking like top line.
You only got like 3, and one of them's hurt.
Yeah.
And that, you got CD Deuce, Anzalone, and Hutch.
Yeah.
Cam Sutton, okay, cool. I'll give him that. But on the other side, it's questionable. Tracy Walker was doing pretty good, I thought. You know what I mean? So you got him up there, and then Kirby's not really having the best season that we kind of assumed he'd have. So I think outside of like Hutch, Thor and CD Deuce, it's a lot of guys in there that can rotate out. And Brian Branch, I think he makes a case in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's certified. No bias to that, but I think those 3 or 4 are our main top guys. Everybody else kind of you can rotate those guys out, and that's good. But it's kind of not though too because every great team has at least 6 or 5 locked in guys.
100%. So,
and again, I want to throw out this number here, and I'm going to put it in the chat one more time. Jalen, if you can pin that, the number for call-in, it is 313-552-6322. We're going to start taking the callers at 6:30. So I think we already have a caller.
6:30. We're going to go back in time.
9:30. I apologize. 9:30. We're going to start taking callers.
Booner, what do you think about the state of the Lions? You're back.
Yeah,
your mic is back.
I am back. The mic, I don't know what's going on. I was about to start fighting and knocking out this mic real quick. I was getting ready to. To say that I think it's just one simple thing is we've seen the lows of this Lions team and you've seen the highs. And the high was Saturday, and the biggest thing with it is we know now what they can do and what they are. It's putting that together because the Booner path, the reason I talk about this and that is there's still an opportunity to do it. This team isn't completely dead. They said we're not out in the water. They still have an opportunity to go out and do what we want them to do, and that's go compete for a Super Bowl. And as much as people are like, oh, well, they can't do that, in the NFL, you're competing for a Super Bowl. If you're one of the best teams in the NBA, you're competing to go win the finals. If you're in baseball, you're looking to go, and you're one of the best teams in baseball, you're going to look to win the World Series, and so on and so forth, whatever league you're in and wherever you're playing. But we know now the Detroit Lions, if at their best, they can compete with anyone. So the Booner path right now, the state of the Detroit Lions fans should expect, and you should have expectations to go into each week. You should expect the Detroit Lions to do what they did on Saturday every single week. And anything less than that is an issue. What we saw the 4 weeks before that was an issue from Jared Goff, from the offensive line, from the defense, and from the coaches. Those were all issues. But Saturday morning or Saturday night, whenever the game was, you saw one of the best Detroit Lions teams play at the highest level that you probably have ever seen in your lifetime. And that's what we should expect the Lions to play like every single game. It's about getting consistent, and it's about doing that at this time of the year to get into the playoffs and go make a run.
On that consistency topic, are you worried about the defense at all? And that's kind of where I was going when I was asking Jalen about that the starters. That are they good enough to go up against an offensive line like the Eagles? Yeah. Are they? They obviously won't be able to get the same pressure as they did against the Broncos, but can they get pressure?
I'm not gonna say they're a team that can go out there and yes, they can compete. We've seen they can compete. We're gonna find out in week 17 if they can compete versus that Dallas kind of up front 7 there. The thing is remember the stats I gave a couple weeks back about the Super Bowl winners and their regular season defenses? Mm-hmm. Every single one of them, besides maybe one, I think, were all outside of the top 10 in defense. So I think if this defense, if you're playing at the level you did on Saturday, you add C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you add James Houston, Yeah, they can play at a level like that to go out there and compete in the playoffs. 100%. And then at the other side of the ball, you're putting out a top 5 offense.
Oh, yeah.
That's a team that can compete. Your defense doesn't have to be perfect when your offense is as good as it is with with that whole squad that you have there on the other side of the ball. So the defense doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
And when you add those pieces back towards the end of the year and you play like you did on Saturday, you give yourself a chance to win any football game.
What I saw that I really loved, and although it was kind of secondary or cornerback by committee, I think the cornerbacks who filled in, some of these guys who filled in, it brought a level of toughness, a type of chip on their shoulder back to this defense that, and I'm talking about Khalil Dorsey, I'm talking about Kindle Vildor. It reminded me of when Jerry Jacobs was earning his spot to become a starter. He was on the rise. Anytime he would come in, I'm not saying he or they played perfect. Anytime he would come in, it's like they know they need to make a play to make the team to earn more snaps, to earn their next series out there. And we saw that out of Khalil Dorsey and Kindle Vildor. Vildor on that one, was it a sack or was just a pressure on Russell Wilson?
It was a pressure
coming out of nowhere. And then when I rewatched the game, Khalil Dorsey.
Khalil made some big plays.
He got beat the first play of the game, the one to Jerry Jeudy. He actually got his ankles broken when Jeudy gave him a little juke, and it got Khalil Dorsey. But 2 plays later, he read the wide receiver screen to, I think it was Marvin Mims or Little Jordan Humphrey, read that screen and made a huge tackle in the backfield. He responded to an early mistake and came right back and made a play. I like those 2 out there, and I like what Jerry Jacobs can add to special teams. It's something where these coaches are going to find some spots for these guys.
The thing is too with some of these guys, like you saw Bruce Irvin all over the field as well. You still saw Bruce Irvin making plays the way he did. The thing is with that too, though, Broder, is with Bruce Irvin, what was one thing we talked about with him?
What?
The veteran presence. Mm-hmm. And the same thing with Kindle Vildor. Was it Vindor?
Vildor.
Kindle Vildor. Say it 4 times. Booner.
Kindle Vildor.
You'll never forget it. But Kindle Vildor and Bruce Irvin, as they've been in this league for a little while. Obviously, Bruce Irvin a lot longer. But you're seeing the thing we talked about last week with this defense is they need to have an edge. They need to compete, and you want to see that out of them. That was what you saw Saturday. It wasn't just out of nowhere. Like, you could tell, like, they've been practicing like that all week long.
Yes.
And you could tell. And guess what? That's probably since Bruce Irvin's been in the building, they've been doing that. Mm-hmm. Vildor's been in the building. They've been practicing like that. They've taken it up another level.
And you know what? If they didn't in a certain practice, Bruce Irvin, a Super Bowl champ, he's right there to say, this isn't how we need to practice to get to the playoffs or to win in the playoffs. That's what he does, too.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's all it comes down to is you have a championship guy on your team that's came in and he's playing at a high level and other guys are like, that was something that I said with this defensive line, that you just need a guy to put a spark behind people. Look at Josh Pascal the last couple of days. Look at the bugs
stepping up.
Like, guys are starting to step up, and maybe they're not getting the sacks, but if you watch these football games, you could tell that they're playing at a little bit of a different level with a different edge, a different fire under them, and it's, to me, it's very obvious. Mm-hmm. Like, it was, you could definitely tell they were getting pressure. Before we do go to break, one last time here. Before we go to break, during break, if you guys have any thoughts on the state of the Detroit Lions, the game on Saturday, and want to. Any statement, doesn't matter. If you want to ask us a question, shoot us a call. It is 313-552-6322. Again, that's 313-552-6322. Give us a call and shoot us with anything, to be honest. Well, let's hear it. We want to hear
Except drugs.
Yeah, just make sure. Give us a call. Come on, let's get some callers in here. Who was it last time that we missed? Was it Austin and Chef? I don't know if they're in there, but you guys do have first dibs.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Whatever that means. So, yeah, let me tell you guys.
Some people will know.
Tell us about Feldman.
I'll tell you about Feldman because since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a world-class car buying experience. They call it the Feldman Advantage. They have 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership in your backyard somewhere. Just check them out, feldmanauto.com, and check out Woodward Sports Network. They're every other Monday. Morning Woodward Show and Big D Energy. They were there today, so it'll be 2 weeks, and they'll be back. Check them out.
And then we were just talking some great defense. That is Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Give them a call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member, they will stay on the phone as long as needed. Your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. Call that number above me for a great defense. That is 1-800-STAY-OUT.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness! Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry-aged beef, Wagyu beef, Sean Payton, Russell Wilson beef, Russell Wilson future beef, so much beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Victory Monday. Lions, baby. Shout out.
Lions,
We've
baby.
got a big day today. About 30 minutes left of the show here. We're starting to take callers. I know we already have one caller. The number is pinned to the top there. It is 313-552-6322. Nicholas Duncan said, I'm getting a ho-ho-ho message when I call in. It is not a phone number to talk to Santa Claus.
No, it's not one of those phone numbers.
Not one of those. This is a real number. If you guys want to call in, talk some Detroit Lions, give us a call. Ask anything you want. Detroit Lions related as of now. Mailbag, we'll talk about that later. But, Nick, we have one caller.
Yes, sir. The man, the myth, the legend.
got?
It's Freddie Felt. 313,
Freddie!
you're live.
Legend. Freddie?
Freddie, can you hear us?
Freddie?
What up, though? Yes, sir. I'm here. You guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. What's going on, Freddie?
Oh,
How you
the
feeling?
applause. Hey, I'm feeling good, man. Victory Monday, you know? It's Victory Sunday twice. Just 2 days in a row I've been celebrating. Do you guys mind if I cook for just a moment?
The kitchen is yours.
Let's hear it.
Appreciate it. All right, I got my chef hat on. Got my spatula and everything. All right. Here's the thing. And you guys know my backstory. I grew up in Pontiac. I grew up 2 miles from the Silverdome. I was, to quote Bane from Batman, I was born into it, molded by it. Like, I had no choice but to love this team, you know? And I don't know if you guys have had this experience. I know Broder probably too. You have friends that, like, especially for me, I'm an 80s baby. Growing up in Pontiac and, like, Metro Detroit, I had my crappy Lion jerseys on constantly. I was rocking Joey Harrington's, Charlie Batch's, Scott Mitchell's.
A piano player.
Rocking all the obscure quarterback jerseys. I think I had a Rodney Pete, so on and so forth, a Barry. The list goes on and on. But, you know, you go to play football with your friends, and they got Dallas Cowboy jerseys and a Jerry Rice jersey. It was like nobody shared the fandom, and if they did, it was short-lived because – you know, you just jump off of the bandwagon. My best man at my wedding, my cousin, he's a Tennessee Titans fan. Like, we grew up together, and it's like every Thanksgiving he would have a Dallas jersey or a San Fran. And it's not to gatekeep fandom, but I say that to say this. We've kind of felt that modern day now, and it's not in the way of jerseys. It's more in the way of attitude and mindset. We're on a historic run right now, and you guys have been the pulse, and Stick and some other folks that have kind of been the pulse into the normal, into actual fans of this franchise, where it kind of breathes some fresh air into the fact that we're on a historic run right now, and sometimes you get lost in the sauce and forget that when you're too busy focused on Hutch, is he elite or not? JMO's a bust, Goff is mid, fire AG, and it's like in the midst of this, we're on a historic run that we have not seen in our lifetime, and add on another person's lifetime at that. And, you know, again, not to gatekeep, but those fans, they can cape up all they want when we go into Minnesota and go for their skulls and come out victorious and hang a banner up in Ford Field. Finally, for the first time in 30 years, we run the North, and we will be the North champs. And they have to look themselves in the mirror and know that they suck as Lions fans, that one time or another they turn their back on this team. I've never turned my back on this team.
You haven't.
To endure all the humiliation over the years. To endure all the humiliation. Why are you a fan of this team? They're such a joke. Why do you watch them? You know, you have to defend your fandom. The tears, like just literal tears of this team, never sniffing any kind of success. Again, not to gatekeep, but this game Sunday, this game is for the real ones. This game is for the fans that never turn their back on this team. This win is for the people that got ridiculed every Thanksgiving, that got their hearts ripped out of their chest year in and year out. Christmas Eve, Lions fans have the possibility of the greatest Christmas gift of all, and that is a division title. I'm going to end it with this: FTP, FTB, and on Sunday, FTV. I'm out.
Let's go, Freddie.
Freddie just cooked there. That was unbelievable.
Couldn't say it any better. He did.
Yeah.
He spoke a lot of words that maybe a lot of us thought, but he put out there, and I think the moral of the story, at least for me, is I don't want people, especially people in our chat, this is a community that we're trying to build, I don't want you to feel intimidated to be optimistic. I don't want optimism to be a negative. I want you to be critical of the team. I want you to be able to debate with each other, but there's nothing wrong with being a slappy, and it's not even being a slappy. It's just being optimistic. And
on the other side, I think you could still be negative if you want.
Yeah, but it's how, like, I just say negative. You can criticism, and the players, like, critique them all you want, pick apart their game, but it's just the extra stuff. There's no need to make anyone else feel worse about being optimistic. Like this, we all want the Lions to win. Everyone wants it in a different way, or sees the game in a different. So everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But I just want the people here to feel okay being optimistic about this team and wanting them, rooting for them to win a Super Bowl.
Freddie, I'm going to tell you this though. Tomorrow. I think I'm going to have a segment about Aiden Hutchinson. So I did hear you say you guys aren't talking bad about Aiden Hutchinson. When you said that in my head, I think I might. You gave me an idea. I might go at Aiden Hutchinson tomorrow.
Booner, you say that like when you critique Aiden Hutchinson, I don't take it as a net you're trashing him or you know. I just think you're critiquing his game right now. Yeah. And I don't worry about that with you. So don't worry. Aiden Hutchinson could play better.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Do we have any more callers?
No, but we have a Red Wings update.
Dude.
4-3 bad guys, but DeBrincat gets his second of the game. 4-3, 2 minutes left, or $1:30 now. Red Wings still in this one. Let's get one more and tie it up and go to OT.
Huge. By the way, Booner Peaceful Tim says, you better find another topic. Hutch is homegrown.
Homegrown, that means you better go out there and get some sacks. Make some plays happen. If you're homegrown, you know what it's like to lose. You better go out there and make a difference. All right, let's hit break. When we come back, what do we have next here?
Go on. Oh, on the show sheet?
Yeah, we're talking about we're talking a little Detroit Lions defense.
Yeah, they didn't get enough love yet.
We're going to keep talking about some defense here. Broder, tell us about it.
I'll tell you, because if you're dreaming of a new home, actually, are you dreaming of a new home, but you're feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White's team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. So call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is drafting a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you're missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check them out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
All right, welcome in Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. If you guys can hit that like button for us. We're way behind on likes, so if we can get this up to 75 or 80 likes here by the end of this segment, and we can get to 100 by the end of the show, that would be awesome. Great caller too, Freddie. Freddie went off of there a little bit. Broder, let's get into this though. I know we talked about the defense already. I want to continue the defensive talk.
All right.
In regards to kind of iffy, Aaron Glenn, the jump from the middle of the year to Saturday, to me, was a little night and day difference. I went back and rewatched a little bit of the defense, and you could just tell like guys are flying around. The practicing, we talked about these guys practicing coming in, and they basically said the coaches didn't have to tell us what was going on. We came in ready to practice, ready to go. If he's already, or who was it that spoke about the practice already that we played earlier in the show?
That was Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta
on the
spoke
offensive
about
end.
Now, Iffy on defense, he kind of starts talking about some stuff here in regards to executing, locking in, an AG specifically. And this is a thing to where there's a lot of those fire AG people. And this is where I'm going to stay on the same side of stuff here is I've never been the fire AG, but I've been the, hey, AG, you have put out there a great product before. Let's get consistent and keep doing it. So we saw this Saturday. I want to see it Sunday. I want to see it next week. I want to see it back at home versus Minnesota. I want to see it as well in the playoffs. So we do have a video here of Iffy kind of talking about that execution and just communication there from Aaron Glenn as well.
Like I said, the AG told us assignment, technique, effort, and have fun. Have fun. That was another thing he said. Just have fun in practice. Like, and that's what we did. Like, we was just having fun out there. No one was really uptight. We was having fun in the huddle while still communicating and doing our job and, you know, coaching each other up. You know what I mean? That's really what it was. And it showed in practice, and then it showed today on the field.
So it sometimes gets overlooked because it seems so simple, but he talked about just having fun. Like that. I know that doesn't tell you a lot, but that makes all the difference for some players. That allows them to play fast and to play free. And that's something Alex Anzalone talked about earlier this week. So to see him talk about that, to see him talk about how AG had them ready, got them going, and then once they were out in the field, they were just coaching each other up. They were executing. They were communicating. It seemed like they were all on sync, whoever was out there. We talk about Iffy and Dorsey and Vildor and Bruce Irvin. It's all these new it's the same team, but it's all these new players coming in. Aaron Glenn found a way to unite them, and they played their best. I gotta say that. Do you think that was their best defensive game of the season? It's got to be up there.
I would say, just looking at it, yes, it felt like it was. I think they played great defense. I mean, even in Kansas City, they played at times. They were playing their best. This one felt like, and I know they gave up a touchdown in the third and fourth quarter, but to me, just the eye test, it felt like those guys were flying around more than we've seen in the past. Best of the season, I don't know. When CJ was playing in Kansas City, The
I do love
defense
that
looked
game.
pretty legit there, and that's why I'm excited for him to come back too. It's like not only like you've seen what if he's doing now, when a guy like CJ comes back, he elevates it a little bit more, and it's not just like communication wise, but he's playing at a higher level. I don't know if you remember in training camp, and I mean you're at practices all the time. It's just the constant communication and yelling and getting in guys' faces and kind of going at it. I think that's what they've been missing. And Saturday you saw it a little bit. I don't know if that's because a guy like CJ's been in the building recently. I don't know what it is, or AG's kind of like a guy like Bruce Irvin or Kendall's been in there, but that's what this defense has been missing. I don't think like the Fire AG stuff, I don't think it's been anything with him. I think maybe some schemes, obviously some personnel, but it's just like that edge. Playing with the different, you're in the NFL, man. Like playing at that next level, that's where I'm at with it. Like
definitely.
I don't think it was the best of the year, but it showed what you can do when you can go win playoff games doing what they did on Saturday.
Totally agree. Denver was scoreless in the first half. They lost a fumble on their first possession of the game on a strip sack forced by Iffy, recovered by Isaiah Buggs, and then they punted on their next 4 possessions. That was everything we needed the defense to do, especially when the offense for the Lions punted 3 straight possessions to start the game too. I liked what the offense was doing. I liked the targets to JMO and the need to run the ball. They punted the first 3 times, so that's a negative, but the defense was right there to pick them up. Eventually, the offense figured it out.
Tyler here in the chat said, I lost it. Booner, I always said we didn't need them to be good, but we needed our defense to be around average but opportunistic. Yeah, I agree. You have a top 5 offense in the NFL. Offenses right now in the NFL is an offensive game.
Yep.
So you have a top 5 offense that can put points up and play with any offense in the NFL right now, whether who the quarterback is. It's just about like, hey, can your defense just be average? Can you get some stops when you need it? Can you help try and get a couple turnovers here and there for
You've been saying it since the summer. That's not even since the beginning of the season, since the summer.
That's all.
Go from bottom to the league to just average, and you're going to win. You might even said they're going to win 10 games.
If you could just sit there at top 15 defense in the NFL and your offense is top 5, you have a chance to win any football game. And if your defense is struggling, and I know people are like, oh, don't just put this on the defense. You know, the other side's bad sometimes. Like, I get that. Like, the last 3 weeks wasn't just on the defense. That was on the turnovers of the offense. And but you've seen the turnaround now to Saturday. Like, we saw that. We saw it with our own eyes what this team can be.
Definitely.
All right.
Y'all ready for mailbag?
Mailbag, baby.
Mailbag. So tune in tomorrow morning. Oops, I gotta squat a little bit. Tomorrow morning, Woodward and Maine will be live 7 a.m. So tune in. I'll be with Gabrielle D. Phillips and the man, the myth, the legend, Terry Foster. Tune in at 7. Nick, could you tell us about Planet Fitness?
Yes, sir. Planet Fitness sits the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $10 a month, no commitment. Check out Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
All right, Outdoor Equipment Company, let's talk about it. It is the official equipment provider of the Woodward Sports Network. Michigan-grown, family-owned. Bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X-Balls and Salters. Outdoor Equipment Company, they have it all. You can buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivery to your doorstep. That is over, right there above me, over at OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, we are back. It is Woodward Nights here with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, YouTube channel, wherever you're on. We appreciate you guys, as always, tuning in. We are at 81 likes. Let's get 19 more likes. Let's get to 100 here before the end of the show.
We were here early.
Mailbag. Start dropping questions, too. If you haven't dropped a question yet, everyone, ask those questions
I got one for you.
All right, hit me with it.
This is from Shane Daniel, Mailbag. Booner, anything special planned yet for the Kool-Aid chug next Sunday if the Lions win?
I have something in my mind. I can't give it away.
It's like a touchdown dance, like the players, they prepare, they practice.
Yes.
Not to jinx it, but you just want to be ready for the moment.
I do have something. It is on Christmas Eve. I'll figure. So I think I have an idea. It might not be a Christmas style, but
Maybe Hanukkah?
No. I'm going to figure something out. I've already have a couple ideas in my head. I have to ask a few people some questions, and I'll have something for you guys.
Okay. What about this? God Hates Coward, Mailbag. Does Stephen Gilmore get unwrapped? Basically, are we going to see him this year? I will say no.
No.
If there are more injuries, maybe. I just think what was I watching? It was the Bucks game, I think. One of the receivers just went up and basically like took the ball out of the hands of the cornerback. It's like Mike Bell or something. Stephen Gilmore's just not big enough yet. He's just not strong enough. He's got a future in the NFL and hopefully with the Lions, he's got the instincts. He just needs to put on some weight, put on some strength. He's like 160.
I saw this from Andrew Jones and Lorena. Is CJGJ practicing again this week? I believe he will be back. I'm just waiting to get that alert. I'm sure we're all waiting on the same thing.
They're expecting to open up his 21-day practice window this week. So I wouldn't expect him to play Sunday.
I know when it's going to happen. Remember how he's been posting? He kept posting
on a Wednesday?
A certain
on
day,
his birthday? Are they
December
giving him a birthday?
20th. And everyone kept saying December 20th, and we were even on our show. We were like, oh, it's his birthday. Shout out Travis. It's his birthday. It might not have been his birthday. He might have known that he was going to get activated on December 20th, that he's ready to go.
Maybe. They probably wouldn't do it on a Tuesday, day off. That's the day the players have off. So might as well wait till Wednesday, December 20th, have a birthday.
Yeah.
Speaking of Travis Maddox, Mailbag. Create a starting five of Detroit Lions players that could I didn't read it all the way. That could beat the current Pistons.
That's nuts, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that right now.
If Calvin was still playing and they traded for Myles Garrett is a baller.
Lorena said Booner half-assed the chug Saturday. Listen, hey Lorena, I've done 10 chugs now. Every time they're all different. It's a one take thing too. I can't go into, and that's what some people like when I do the yelling and I give stats out and different things. It's like I have one chance at doing this, and I literally walk straight off our stream. And my cup, it's ready to go, and I walk right outside with either like Spenny or someone. It's a one take thing. So if I said this week when I did it, I said Jared Goff 4 touchdowns, and he had 5. And it's just after I dumped the Kool-Aid on myself, there's no going back. You get one shot at this thing.
How about this? Charles Dirksen says, we know C.J. Stroud is probably going to win Rookie of the Year, but we have 2 rookies playing worthy of the award. Who would you rather want to see win it, Gibbs or Laporta?
It's a good-ass question, Charles.
Yeah. Or interpret as you please. Maybe who do you think has the best chance?
The best chance would be Gibbs. Like if you kept looking at the odds and followed the odds all year, Sam Laporta was always low. It's just because he's a tight end. It's the same thing for like MVP for like a tight end. They're typically never in it. But Gibbs, if I had to pick someone who I thought would, and I'm sure the odds would tell it, Gibbs is probably even second right now behind CJ Stroud. But I personally, I would pick Sam Laporta just because he's broken so many rookie records. Not even rookie, like NFL rookie records.
Yeah.
And he has a chance to go break Mike Ditka's record still. He has a chance to break the receiving record. Like he has a touchdown record. Like he has a chance to break records. So I personally would go Sam Laporta with that.
I love it. We'll see. The fact is they got 3 more games. And we could see them both elevate their chances even more.
IT Hips here said, does CJGJ start right away over Iffy when he comes back?
It's a good question. I mean, I want to say, I'll say like all things being equal, yes. The very first game, maybe they ease him in only in a couple series, and CJGJ comes off the bench. But if he's healthy, if he's 100%, or if he's able to play an entire game, he'll be the starter. And then it'll just be how they work them all in the rotation.
Yeah, I'm interested to see snap counts after that.
Yeah.
The first game back for CJ, I want to see what the snap counts are like.
Yeah.
And maybe his won't be that high as well. So maybe we're not going to get a full look at what it would actually be like in a playoff game.
Shoot, do you put Iffy, have him come off the edge a little better as an outside linebacker spot with how long he is? Or just do creative things.
What are the thoughts on playing some of those guys at corner?
Who like CJG or Iffy?
Either one. I'm not sure. I saw someone, William Willis, put it in here. CJGJ is going to play corner.
He's got the potential. I think they want him more at either the nickel or the strong safety spot, but he does have that that potential, that versatility, and maybe with the injury they put him there for the sake of not being in the trenches as much. But again, that injury, when you're healthy, you're healthy. It's not there's not as much of a risk to re-tear it. It's more just about recovering in each game, recovering from that specific game.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested to see what they do.
It's a great question.
They do have secondary guys now to work with, and that's going to be when he comes back. Imagine if what's his name was still Emmanuel was still.
I know. This would be a different conversation. He is our number one.
Different.
And by the way, we haven't even talked about Cam Sutton, but Cam Sutton played his ass off in this Broncos game too. We didn't hear Cortland Sutton's name too often, and Cam Sutton played. He was all over him. They were moving him around. He was traveling a lot. It was fantastic.
That's
Hillbag. Did we just become best friends? Nunchucks?
Who said that?
That is my guy, Mike Hilton.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get a couple more in here. We've got a couple more minutes.
You guys have a question for Jalen? As this is his last show? We got 1 minute left.
Jay, anything for the people. Run it down. Jalen, what do you got coming up in Jalen's life? Dude, I've had a blast working next to you as two rookies in the booth together, bro. I'm going to miss you a lot.
Boys, man, for
Booth
life,
boys.
I'll be around. I'll be shooting some high school games for basketball, shooting videos and taking pictures, stuff like that.
You're people don't know, you're a photographer, you're creative.
I do a lot of photography work, a lot of media work for artists in around the city and whatnot. So if you have a kid at a high school, or you got some cousins playing in high school sports in the state, I might shoot the game. You never know. And what they say in there, that's crazy.
Make sure they know where to find you on all their socials.
Yeah, you gotta follow me at Jalen HTV on all platforms, and in all my media stuff will be in the bio. I'm gonna miss you, Nick.
Dude,
I'm gonna miss you too, Booner, and you, Broder.
We're gonna miss you.
We're gonna miss you too, man.
Horns up, man.
Yeah, horns up one last time.
Horns up.
Horns up. Jen, I got one last question for you. Which was your favorite nickname that you were given from the chat? We had Coach Prime. We had little Baby Drummond.
I like Baby Drummond. That was
Baby
original.
Drummond's a good
that
one.
was when I was training,
like
so
that.
that was original. But that one and Marvin Gaye, that was kind of crazy, because I keep wearing his hat. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Marvin Gaye one. That was funny.
Some Luther Vandross?
Yeah.
A little Anita?
Oh my gosh.
We'll definitely get this party. Let's go.
Hey, real breaking news as well.
What?
Bruce Bedrock said Seahawks just tied the game at 10.
Oh, let's go, Hawks.
Let's go. Get those Eagles out of here, baby.
Let's go, Hawks.
We don't want to see the Eagles win, man. All of you people who are like, oh, let's clinch the playoffs tonight. Get out of here.
Let's clinch them next week.
We've got a bigger picture here at Woodward Nights.
The White Castle Warriors nuts.
White Castle Warrior. That's a great one. That is a great one. Baby Drummond. That's my favorite one. Baby Drummond, man. Shout out Andre Drummond too.
Godspeed,
Andre Drummond
Jalen.
never lost 24 straight games.
Never lost. Can't win.
Andre Drummond never
is
lost
the most
24
overrated player in the NBA history.
Who is?
Andre.
Drummond?
Not a winner.
Come on.
What?
He's the best offensive rebounder possibly. Or
Yes, and the thing is Broder, let me break this down for you real quick. If a number 4 or number 3 option is forced to be a number 1 option for a franchise, who's putting him in the right position? Not your franchise.
True.
So don't go at Andre Drummond. Don't go at Andre Drummond for an incompetent front office. Don't do that. Shout out Andre Drummond. He used to get me tickets, actually. His friend used to get me tickets growing up. So
I used to record his music.
He's a great guy.
All these things that don't include basketball.
Andre Drummond is a great dude.
Who's a better musician, Andre, Shaq, or Allen Iverson?
Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
I think Shaq's the best. He went platinum 3 times in a row.
Dame Dollar.
Shazam. Dame's actually decent.
Nah, he's good. I listen to his music all the time. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Victory Monday. Lions, baby. We'll be back tomorrow. for some more, Jalen. We appreciate you a ton, man.
That's all love, man.
Toodles,
Best night
Jalen.
show in the world.
Yes, go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Love you guys.